appreciate that you will indulge us. We don't have a microphone, so I'm going to try to talk really loudly, and I'll ask our other guests to speak very loudly so you can all hear as well. Welcome to the 82nd annual meeting of the Credit Union for First Financial. I'm Loretta Montoya. I'm the chair of the board for the Credit Union. And before we start, I'd like to introduce and recognize our volunteers here for the Credit Union. And if you'll please stand when I call your name. Cassie Kelly is our first vice chair. Vince Esparza is our second vice chair. Kathy Thomas is our secretary and treasurer. I don't see Stuart. There's Stuart.
Just walked in.
Stuart Logan is the director. Israel Chavez is a board advisor. Pablo Rael is also a board advisor. And we have a couple board members, both John Warner and Cindy Kane, who are not able to join us tonight. And representing Supervisory Committee, we have Olivia Jimenez, our chair. And Cindy Frost, one of the committee members. Christine Duncan got hung up at work, so she's not here, so hopefully she'll be able to join us. The format of this meeting is set by our bylaws. We'll do everything possible to keep it as brief and informative as possible. Throughout the meeting, we will be asking for members to make motions and to second them. Please understand that only members of the credit union may do this. And if you do make a motion or second a motion, please state your name, because we'll need that for the records. So the first agenda item is for me to ascertain that there is a quorum present, and which according to our bylaws is 50 members. There being more than 50 members, I certify that we have a quorum. Now regarding the minutes of last year's meetings, held on June 16, 2018, inasmuch as there is no unfinished business from last year, I would entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of these minutes and to approve them. We do have a copy available if anybody would like to review those. So I would be looking for a motion now.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. And your name, sir?
No, Mogarama.
Okay. So we've got Israel. Okay, thank you. Are there any remarks? All in favor, please raise your right hand. All against? The motion's carried. The next item is a report by the president of the credit union, Ron Moorhead, who is our president and CEO, and he will be presenting the report. Here comes Ron.
I'm glad you all came out today. Welcome. And I've been able to say hi to most of you. And before we actually jump in, I'd like to recognize that today is the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And so anybody who has been in the service or is currently in service, I'd like to recognize you and thank you for your service. And I don't see anybody that might have been at D-Day, but if you know someone who was, we'd like to thank them. So thank them for us and for the credit union. So I would also like to recognize my senior leadership team, and our COO and EVP Karen Broden is there, and our Chief Lending Officer Greg Shaver is.
He's manning the.
He was up there. He was that guy with the tie out there. And we also have Gavin Gillette, who is our SVP of Administration. So with that, you got a little thing in front of you, so I don't want to read it to you because most of you are probably capable of reading. And if you're not capable of reading, probably someone can read it to you. for some of those that will be younger, perhaps. But 2018 really was a very good year. For those who've been following, playing the home game, you notice that there was a couple of years where we didn't make a lot of money, but last year we're starting to do pretty good. And as we make more money, we can actually give more back. And so you may have seen recently some certificate rates going up, and we're investing in new technologies. We're doing a lot of things to try to make our interactions with you better. And we also recognize that at times things may be great and things may not be great for you, and we want to make sure that we're always here for you. And so if you ever have any challenges, have any questions or comments or thoughts on things that we could or should do, come see one of us. Come see one of my leadership team. Come chat with me. We are here to basically serve you, and so we think it's quite an honor to have you here. And thank you very much for what you do for us by just being members. So, as you noticed, we basically had about a little over $3 million in income last year. We're on track to do the same thing this year, which is very nice. And again, as we make money, we can turn it back to you in the forms of improved services, lower loan rates, higher deposit rates, and so it all kind of works out. A lot of people think of First Financial as being their bank. And we're not really a bank, we're actually a nonprofit financial cooperative. And what that means is that you're the shareholders. There are no stockholders on Wall Street, there's nobody anywhere else that we're really beholden to. We are really here for you. So if you're a member, you're what's important. And so anything that we do well accrues back to you. And we want to make sure that we take good care of you. And so one of the things we're going to take good care of you is to make sure you get well fed tonight. And so there's going to be plenty of food. Make sure that you have 3 or 4 trips, maybe 5 trips. For those of you that go to the gym often, it's called the bulking phase. It's very healthy for you. The cutting phase comes later when you don't get ripped, okay? So New Mexico is a very large and diverse state. We recognize that sometimes we take a long time to get where you're going, and sometimes we're on the way and sometimes we're not. So what we're doing in the future is making sure that we invest in technologies, invest in things that make your life easier, so that, like the little telephone in your pocket that maybe isn't really much of a telephone but does everything but take phone calls. We want to make sure that we have the best technology for you, but more importantly, that everything that we do for you is done in a safe and sound manner. And because of that, we constantly are updating and upgrading and making things better that you sometimes don't even see. But we do this because we do care about you and want to make sure that your information is always kept very safe. We appreciate the fact that you've given us an opportunity to be your credit union. And if there's anything, again, that you'd like us to do differently, or anything, any ideas you've got, like, gee, I really wish you could do X, come chat with me. I'll be around for a while, okay? So again, I appreciate what you allow us to do, and we're always doing things to enhance the data security, like I was talking about there. But again, if you ever see anything that you'd like to try differently, come chat with us, because we'd like to chat with you, okay? Again, this credit union is your credit union. It's not somebody else's. It is yours. So thank you very much for what you do for us just by being a member. And make sure you eat plenty of food, okay? Remember, bulking phase, bulking phase. With that, thank you all very much, and thank you for letting me be your leader.
Thank you, Ron, and I will now entertain a motion to accept the CEO report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any remarks? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Any against? Motion carries. The next item is the report from me, the chairperson of the board. I would like to briefly highlight a few things from the report. There is a copy of the report that in its entirety is in your annual report that you received when you registered here at the event. A lot of very similar to what Ron said, 2018 was a very good year for the credit union, and we are a stronger institution because you put your trust to serve, to let us serve you with all your financial needs. We really strive to provide excellent service to you and your family. Again, this is a member-owned cooperative, and we appreciate you and your input. So we do want to hear from you if there's things that we can help you with. A couple things in the last year that we've done, we've updated some services, and if you've been into our branches, you've noticed that we've remodeled the facilities. Giving back to the communities that we are in is very important also Forbes rated us, the credit union, for being #1 in the state of New Mexico. Now, wouldn't you agree that's like truly an honor? So it really is a privilege to serve you all, and we thank you for allowing us to be your credit union. I will now entertain a motion to accept this report as presented.
Byron Lueras, motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Your name, sir? Jacob
Wolf.
Jacob Wolf? Thank you. Are there any remarks? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Any against? Motion carries. The next item is a report by the Supervisory Committee. Olivia Jimenez, our Chair of the Supervisory Committee, will present this report. Welcome.
Hello, and thank you all for being here also. Can you hear me okay? All right. Well, at First Financial Credit Union, our members' assets are safeguarded, and the Board of Directors and the credit union management have met the required financial reporting objectives, and we also have a few highlights for 2018. Our independent certified auditors came and they gave us a clean audit, so that's pretty impressive if you've ever been audited, or that's a main highlight, yes. And we work, the supervisory committee works hand in hand with the internal audit department. So there's Raul and Sonia over there that are working hard for you, and they're looking at everything. They're our internal auditors. They're on site, and so they ensure adequate internal controls are consistently used in daily operations for effectiveness, adherence, and compliance with the regulatory requirements. This year, we also hired some outside auditors just to kind of check their work, and that was also fantastic. So they're working hard, and so we thank them for the work that they do. Every so often, there's federal and state regulators that give us examinations just because they're our regulators, and they also provide our deposit insurance, and there's no outstanding issues that they have with us, so great job on that. Senior management was independently interviewed by the committee and internal audit every month, and they shared their strategic plans and initiatives with us, and so everything's looking really good, and it's just a great time for First Financial, and I'm really happy to be a part of it with all of you. The board has worked diligently to establish policies, ensure practices and procedures are followed, so that First Financial is financially secure and dedicated to serving its members. And our newest members, Christine couldn't make it for work, but we have Cindy here, and 2 incumbents, and 3 members, which the nominating committee accepted as qualified candidates. Therefore, a ballot was not necessary to fill the 5 positions. The 5 candidates are Cassie Kelly, Vincent Esparza, Israel Chavez, Ava Boswell, and Raymond McCreesh. It is recommended that a motion be made to appoint these 5 members to the board of directors.
So moved.
Second.
You have to wait for her to vote.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Olivia. I'll now entertain a motion that Cassie Kelly, Vincent Esparza, Israel Chavez, Ava Boswell, and Raymond McCreesh be appointed to the board of directors as announced by Olivia. So moved. Thank you, Cindy. And a second. Okay. Are there any remarks? All in favor, please raise your right hand. All against? This motion carries. Congratulations to all our new board members and to the incumbents as well. We look forward to working with you on the board.
Loretta, why don't you have them all stand up?
I'm sorry?
Have them stand up so they know who they are.
Julie asked me to have them all stand up. So we, Israel, Cassie, Raymond, Vincent, and Ava. Congratulations. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Are there any remarks? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Any against? Motion carries. The meeting is now adjourning at 6:18. So thank you. But before we conclude the meeting, we're now going to be announcing the raffle.